Welcome to Sanlando Soundwaves. This is Week 6, Day 28. I'm Cheryl Bain. Today, we move out of Genesis and into Ephesians. One of the fantastic features of this study is that it's always showing us the symphony between the Old and New Testament, where verses point back and forth to one another, reminding us that it's all one big story and God knew the end from the beginning. Today, let's read Ephesians chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. As for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the Spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath. Now let's look at our 7 arrows or our 7 questions. What does this passage say? What did this passage mean to its original audience? What does this passage tell us about God? What does this passage tell us about humans? What does this passage demand of me? How does this passage change the way I relate to people? What does this passage prompt me to pray to God? Writing to the church in a city called Ephesus, Paul summarized the good news of Jesus. Before he got to the good news, Paul pointed out the depth of human sin and told the church that all people, regardless of their gender, age, ethnicity, financial status, or religious background, are born dead to sin. From birth, this is every person's position. We aren't sick and in need of a little medicine to make ourselves better. Rather, we are dead and totally incapable of pleasing God. Therefore, we are destined to be permanently separated from God's presence. This is expressed in people's following the lies of Satan and the sinful patterns of the world. As a result of this sin, we all deserve the wrath of God, His rightful judgment for our sin. This bad news sets the stage for the life that can be found through faith in Jesus' work. That's a lot to swallow for our passage for today, and it gives us a lot to think about. I often think of a baby who's born perfect, but to imperfect parents, and what a struggle it is to live the way that we're supposed to live. We hope that you join us tomorrow for our next devotional.